Alright, I'm back at it again, talking about these accelerated meta test tournament rounds. So this time I'm talking about the June's AMT, uh, where I played Hoshiko and Azmari. Uh, my idea was that I have seen more people and more people playing ESA, so I wanted to play a deck that has a decent chance into Hoshiko, even though it's one of the only matchups I think Azmari has, like, is below even. But it has really good matchups into ESA and some other like really aggressive runners like Sable and Zaya, for example. One thing I didn't account for is the increase of lat that was due to probably Whiteblade having posting the deck result and lat being a central point in couple of streams. Like for instance, Usekrin started playing lat, and I think Andre was playing lat in his streams as well. But otherwise, it's the basic. Almost two-thirds are playing Anarch, and on the Corp it's more even split. One interesting thing here is the fall of outfit. I don't know if it's just people are getting bored of outfit or people are realizing that outfit is actually really bad into ESA. But number of outfits is interesting, and the number of sports metal is also interesting, with sports metal being so high up there compared to the other months. PE expected, Asmode expected. And number of AG infusions is also really interesting. Not many people were bringing this today or yesterday compared to the last week, last month's one, where there was AG infusion was like one of the most played ones. So I think like the decks that people bring to this are a bit less favored by the which is the best deck, but more like favored by the conversation around Netrunner. But like the sports metal being the top deck, I don't think that means that sports metal is actually that good or consistent, because the highest placing sports metal player is placed 8th, and rest of the sports metal players are down on the bottom end of the table. I think sports has decent shot into most of the runners, but it just falls below the 50% win rate against most of the decks, I think. It's a good. It has a bit too much variance for my liking. Also, I got to like the one person playing Adam. Love that idea, but didn't bring it this time. So my decks. My corp deck was this Laura's Marie deck that Cable Carnage has created. I was also playing this from in Tampere. It's a local tournament here in Finland. So I really enjoy playing this deck. It has the things I like: fast scores, economic pressure on the runner, and it booms people when they go tagged. Uh, One interesting, I had thought about changing this deck up a bit, but I didn't have enough time to test out the changes really. And on runner side, I played this big hosiko that Sokka and King played last month. In the last month's AMT, I had been playtesting this, and it was doing really big good work for me. I was testing out this deck with like version that includes the patchwork instead of a more, but it ended up not feeling that good to play. You really need the MU, and your biggest struggles are with this deck are maybe the corp decks that go really fast, like outfit and things like that. So having a more that really disrupts the game plan of the runner sometimes is really valuable in my opinion. uh, it won one of the games that you will see. Also, I like actually really like the bravados. Before of playing this deck, I thought that bravado would be like too much influence compared to the value it brings, but it actually allows you to be more aggressive and start checking things more aggressively. Uh, so if we go to the games, this is the first game. I started with the corp side against Yodela. And this is the matchup I think I'm really favored in. ESA has to play events, has to aggressively run, so you often get the tags and just end them. Yep. So basic econ start. I think I mulligan. I don't mulligan this away. Oh, I do. Weird. Maybe a bit too few eyes agenda in the starting hand, but after the tournament, I think I should have probably kept this. But I mulligan into a better hand, so that's fine. Basic start, econ, and eyes up the remote end. Yep. Eyes. Oh, this is a bit loud. I'll just mute. Yep, so eyes, and my basic Azmari just calling event every time. They end up drawing, playing Ghost Tongue, and I sabotage from top of the one from HQ, from top of the decks. Yeah, I end up chucking this IP block because I already have these eyes and I really don't want them to get any of the scores out. I think this might like bite me in the end, but it's a hard decision at this point to make. I really want to keep the boom in hand and Econ Warfare because it's the thing that lets me win. But they get the early Ghost Tank, which is rough because they get so much more value from their Econ after they play this. Then install Botulus and play the Creative Commission for 6 or for 5. 5 credits. Botulus on HQ really scares me at this point because I know they want to just Tuska me, so this ends could like be really bad for me if they get this Chatuska runs in with like more consistency. Drawing into a hedge fund, I think I end up drawing here, and then IP block on the HQ just to make it a bit more hard for them to IP just Tuska me. Another draw event. Yeah, they just end up playing all their events this turn. Labor rights took out Ghost and Botulus, Deus Wild. Yeah, these are all cards that you kinda want to have. Not hitting the bean breakers or anything that scares me that much. And shuffles back Steel Skins. But Deus Wild, Botulus, Steel Skin. Yeah, understandable. Then I think I'm here. I just want to set up a scoring remote that I can push my agendas from, but I end up not getting one. So I click for a credit and then play a hedge fund that I have in hand. Just trying to find an eyes that I can use. Yeah. They end up playing a diesel. Just Azmari is basically just get 2 credits every turn right now. Other labor rights. Missing bottles, just Tuska and raindrops. Yeah, the just Tuska hit is good for me because it means they don't have it in hand, but it gets shuffled. Yeah, one of these rough ones where you get the one card back, but what can you do? Marrowing. I chuck from one from HQ, chucking the Sims launch because I'm not getting any scoring windows, and all of these other cards are either agendas or the kill package of the deck. The Spin Doctor that gets trashed is harsh but manageable, I think. Getting the Spin Doctor in hand is key against ESA, I think. Drawing agendas. So I'm forced to hard install the tomorrow's headline just that they could uh, run it and get tag and maybe slow them down a bit. And then I pitch the Bellona. Just if they steal both of these, it hurts their econ bit much for hard hitting news. And this round they draw and play 2 events. Sure Gamble and the oh yeah, Sure Gamble and the moshing. And just check out the remote. This Dirty Laundry run is bit like both of them. I think it could like end up going pretty badly for them, or it could end up that this is Spin Doctor or something, but maybe they are confident that they read my things. It also could be a Gaslight or something. And they get the tomorrow's headline with, but I don't have any punish for one tag, so getting the Angio front, just Angio front, advance. And they still haven't found any of their beating breakers except, oh, they have Black Orchestra and MK Ultra. So no barrier breaker, but this deck doesn't have any like scary barriers, so they end up running that. It's fine for me. I really like the worst. I'm in a tough position here. I have huge amounts of agendas in hand. They have huge amount of credits. This deck really wants both of the players to be on super low credits, but if they have like they go into 22 credits, I really cannot threaten them out with hard hitting news or anything. So they just need to keep their credit total up high and somehow get more pressure on me. Yep, running archives there and then installing the. Yeah, so they clear out the tag manually, I think. Which is weird because they have the Deus Wild in hand, but run that, then play Deus Wild to gain 3 and expose ice on HQ. Yeah, so they expose the IP block. And run on R&D. I think this part starts to seem a bit weird. If the runner or if the corporation like is forced to put out a naked agenda, I think you pretty safely can think that they are really flooded in agenda. So I think like running HQ here is a bit better for them actually. Like face checking this, the deck does not have like real face checks, but forcing the access on HQ I think could be a bit better. IP block is not really keeping them out. It actually ends up being cheaper for them to run HQ here. But they run R&D and do not see anything. Oh, they trash a Spin Doctor, which is pretty good for them. Getting 2 spins out and having the Bellona in archives is rough for me. And they put a Botulus down on HQ, so now they can hammer through HQ even more. I find the Gaslight, which is huge for me, or I find the ice that allows me to put the Gaslight behind it and maybe get some value, or get the other Econ Warfare that actually starts to threaten them out a bit. They just raw finality. Misses. They get the 1 Bellona, which is scary for me because they just need to find one more agenda in the deck. Then credit Sure Gamble Hedge Fund. And now they like went so down in credits with the stealing of Bellona that like the Bellona opens up totally the Gaslight play. so I end up playing the Gaslight, getting the Econ Warfare, and Econ hard-hitting news. And at this part they are in a tough position. They are basically forced into playing the finality and finding something. Like they have this, it ends up being that they play credit and then finality. I'm not sure what the finality here actually does, or what clicking for credits does in this situation. You like, why do you break? I don't understand why they would break this ice. And in the go for the final click into the R&D, I just end up like chucking these artificial crypto crashes with the from the sabotage, because it doesn't really matter at this point. I have the boom from turn 1 in hand. Like, considering that this turn could be so that they are even going like into this turn. In this turn they are on 15 credits and they waste basically huge amounts of them. I know that stealing the Bellona is like mandatory, but it ends up like hurting them. I'm not. Yeah, they get to decent amounts of credit back, so this punishment only like real if I have both of these in hand, but the Gaslight basically saves me here. But if we look at the last runner turn, if they have installed 2 botuli on the HQ for a reason, so like if you think about it, why would the runner actually put the naked tomorrow's headline on the remote? Is it just to maybe slow down the runner a bit? Not really. So, and they have gotten a couple of sabotages from top of the deck, so there's are agendas on archives, and so if this turn would even be like run HQ, run archives, then sub finality as the last click, you cannot steal a Bellona, but you can steal the artificial crypto crashes, which are more like apparent, but this play doesn't even allow you to steal the artificial cryptos. But it ends up like being good for me because they miss out every agenda. And I just boom. Like, this game went way scarier for me than it really had any right to be. I couldn't, like, these draws in the middle of the game where I install this, like, this is a absolutely horrifying draw to have against ESA when ESA also already has a like credit lead. Having like artificial crypto crashes, I think like sabotaging these 2 pieces is starting to really bite me, because I really cannot get the artificial cryptos crash scored without seamless launch, without them like having some knowledge that it's going out there. Like, I think they went out playing ESA a bit too much here. I think they could have slowed down and just played a more solid game with the finality as a closing piece, more than just like hammering through and like trying to win the game fast. After you steal this, you are pretty at a decent spot, I think, but it's hard to say. And ESA is like a runner that likes to force its own game plan on their corporation, so it's tough to say. But I was relieved with this win, so I was going to the next one with Big Hosiko against PE, which is one of those matchups why you play Big Hosiko, but it ended up being pretty scary for me considering. Yeah, it ends up doing this. Reload the page. Oh, weird. Never seen that bug before. Yep, this one. Hmm. Interesting that it doesn't flip the bad publicity and things. But yeah, let's just watch it from the corpse perspective. Alright, so mulligans here. They have an eye starting and I don't know if they mulligan this. Apparently they do, and I keep mine because I have an early pin altering to check out if they try to push out rushes and stuff, and I have the super early liberated account that fills up my game plan. At this point I'm not sure which PE version they are. It can be like one of the 5 different ones that they are out there, and this works well against like almost all of them, I think. They end up pushing the Rashida behind the Diviner, but luckily I have the pinhole threading first click to clear it out and get the Hoshiko flip safely. Here I'm pretty sure it's a Rashida, so I think this is like a safest play I can make to clear it out. Like what else would you push out there? You're not really icing up any trap, and if you want to play an agenda, if it's an agenda, stealing that is also fine. Or knowing it's there and dealing with it after, like however I could. And I just click up credits just to stay safe for any shenanigans that the corp might have. Maybe drawing up is safe, also safer, but I wanted to have enough credits for the liberated account next turn. They find an drawn oboe. Install. Yep. So install the spin doctor, put out the regeneration. And on my turn I just set up the econ plan for the rest of the game, or for the early game. Not placing down the fermenter is interesting, but maybe I think I might be a bit scared of some damaged things from table, so it's not that big of a deal, I'd imagine. Yep, they keep out the regeneration and ice it up even further. I think it's weird here that they do not go for the oboe play. I think the oboe play could have been like valuable here. I find the Stargate, run this one first, so I'm safe against most of the. So my Stargates gets more value. Install Stargate just so that I don't lose it for 20 damage 6. Ice up R&D because they see the Stargate, it's fine for me. At this point I'm starting to think that it's either the Jinsei's killing version, or it's the Jinsei's corner or Jinsei Bridgman cornered animal build, or Apex Predator, considering it's the same build but bit different. And I end up drawing, finding the M gold that allows me to start checking things a bit more, and just flip over. I also find a paper clip for some random barriers. Anansi, they found Anansi, yeah. And they just keep drawing here instead of doing anything with the Genesis. Like, I'm completely sure that this is not an agenda. I'm starting to think that this is a killing or an or not a killing, but a warrior tracker or some upgrade that's protecting the server. Like they're not doing anything with it, so it's bluffing me huge, pretty much. And they pitch out the sting instead of anything else, so it's weird. I'm like, why would they go for a sting with the Obok Regenesis? I'm not sure. Run HQ to find out what they have installed there, just to start checking. Hitting the DNA tracker, I thought that I was pretty safe against everything. They typically these like killing thing decks have like one DNA tracker and one diviner, so but I end up getting punished here pretty hardly, and I know that they do not have enough money, so I just end up going through and checking the snare. Find the snare or hit the snare, and they end up, or they cannot use it, so I just end up trashing it, and I click out 4 credits just to stay safe. And here they just click for credits because they went down so low on last turn. So I just play the Stargate thinking that they can only rest like one Diviner or one Sun Satan or anything, so I'm not that afraid, but it ends up being 2 Tides, which are really punishing for Amco Altar to break through. And I... Huh? So they rest the Tithe, I install Amco Ultra, I pay 3, continue to run, rest Tithe. Oh, I just let it fire. I thought that this read that I broke it, but yeah, I just let the other Tithes fire. Because I do not have enough, I'm going to 2 down on credits. Find an oboe, that's a huge. Then I find the news team and snare. So they're on 2 news team. 2 news team and 2 snare. And I find that there's a sting. At this point my heart jumps because I think I'm dead because of the oboe, but actually I'm not forced to steal it, so. But I steal the sting, which is not ideal, but it's fine for me. And end up just drawing back up to stay safe. They ice up archives and pitch out one of the news teams, which is like, I should have figured this out, so I think what I end up doing is pretty like, maybe bad, I'm not sure, because I end up taking the fermenter and then running the Sun Satan. And I let the news team just sit in the archives and take 2 tags, and I do not clear any of them. At this point I know this is like the clean cornered animal build, so the tag punishment they usually have is one retribution. I think Bridgman was playing a modern version of this that did not have news teams, but only had like snares and had one end of a line to kill the runner. But I was pretty sure that this only had this. They had the retribution that I can in a pinch and let them hit here, but both players going down to 0 is pretty rough. They draw up a econ card as their mandatory draw, and they pitch out the news team. I am forced to clear one tag here. I just draw up and then clear one tag. because they did not have any punishment last turn. I'm pretty sure that they do not have any punishment here as well. And they just end up clicking for more credits and play the short gamble out. Yeah, and I click for credit clear tag and keep clicking for credits. Like, if I had taken the news team, I think I'm going to 3 points, which is rough, and they have more stock buyback value, but I end up saving so much tempo that it actually might be the correct play just to not steal the oboe. Steal the oboe, but don't take the news team as minus points. Also, like, archives is open, so I can use targets actually to steal things, but it ends up slowing me down very much this thing. Also, they end up just advancing this Regenesis out raw, which is super wild for me, because they have oboe in hand and other Regenesis things. And yeah, and for some reason this oboe Regenesis does not end up doing any net damage here. I think they somehow get a trigger to miss, but I end up doing it manually. Manually taking damage. And here I'm desperately trying to find a liberated account or anything to get my economy back up running, because using the bravado is a bit scary. They found another agenda. They push out the Regenesis and pitch out the oboe. Yeah, like, this could be like the thing that they would have done on like turn 4 or something, and they're just doing it right now, so. But I cannot do anything about it. I just keep on drawing, trying to find the econ. I end up finding a variable, which is super nice. I'm back in the econ game right now, pitching out the dreamnet, because I think like getting a more every other card here is super like valuable, I think. And they get the Regenesis with the oboe, which ends up like now I'm in a tough position because I'm forced to run the remote, and they have stuff like snare and things. Snare and one pointers that I cannot steal indefinitely. I'm just drawing, just trying to find something, and putting Botulus on DNA tracker just to get some runs through there. They install an ice protecting the HQ and install the Sting on the remote. They're just on 5 credits, so maybe they think that they're bluffing on the remote, but no. I end up bravadoing here because I think I can break like most of the things that they could put here. Anansi does not do anything, and it ends up being a diviner. That's totally fine because I have enough cards that do not enter on here, and luckily it hits the paperclip. Find a Sting, go down to 1 card in hand and draw up back again. And hosiko flip also allows me to go back to huge amounts of credit, so I'm pretty set for now. They install a snare on the remote. I'm pretty sure that it is a snare here, or I'm not sure that what it is. I think it's interesting that they would like do a raw install here, but I think even if it's a snare, I think I can just tank the hit because they are going so down in credits. Ends up being in the snare. I just draw up, play Dodge Wild to get the draw and clear Tagman for free and draw up. They draw another agenda. They install the spin doctor and click for 2 credits. And this point I think, yeah, I'm pretty safe. I can just check out the remote for almost free. It costs 3. The spin doctor shuffles out one of the announces and announce and a snare. The announce shuffle is is interesting because do they actually have enough credits to ever install an announce? But maybe they're just trying to find some eyes. No further actions, and I end up running the HQ here because haven't scored anything. And their deck is so full of agendas that I think they probably have something here. Find the House of Knives and just put down the daily cast to get some passive econ generation. Install a Regenesis and pitch out. Or install a Regenesis and play out the stock buyback, which is also an interesting play because they could like try to win here with me like doing this play, but I just end up stargating. Because this card has been here for a long time and I check Kusanagi's Tithe and Kusanagi. And which card do I actually target? Yeah, I trust the Tithe because I do not want them to get anything on R&D right now. Yep, and here they would have won if they just put out the Sting in the remote, in the archives for example. But maybe they didn't have enough credits, I'm not sure. Yep, and then they install a raw Rashida here. I'm certain that this is actually the Kusanagi that they just put out here randomly. Run HQ. See the Kusanagi, just force to steal it. And I draw up. They play Rashida. Advance. And... Huh? They... They end up not doing the Regenesis for some reason. And I just end up... Whoa, that's wild. I end up finding something and running the remote archives. During the game I thought that they just pitched out all of the agendas that I find in the archives right now, like these two. But yeah, apparently. Ah. Like I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they just misread Regenesis or something. I'm not sure. But I thought it was an interesting game, but yeah, I don't know. What can I say? Eh, maybe a newer player that like misinputted something on their computer and was too afraid to ask for a take back or something. I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah, I was 2-0 in the tournament. Going first, actually first time I do not get a tie in the first round, so I was feeling good at this point. Going as Dier, who is a really good player. Actually, I think Dier is one of the creators of the like PE asset deck, and uh, they were playing this PD deck. Let's see if this works. Apparently not. They were playing this PD deck that I think is like I'm going into this thinking that it's a like panic PD, just good stuff, and they end up mulliganing this probably because it has no econ, still no econ there, and get the Audacity and set up all of the servers. Yep, instant raindrops got stone here. They end up not resting, and I just hit the Audacity, and it's like shows me that they have tools to score out faster. So I need to be a bit more efficient on checking out the R&D and HQ, so they do not get to 5 points. Then sure gamble and just get the econ table. No need to be afraid of econ punishment from PD often. So I just put down the daily cast on turn 1. They found a drafter and a Nico campaign that they put in the remote. I end up just drawing up and installing a liberator and clicking it once. I already have 2 of the bin breakers, so I'm in a good position, I think, to keep on to start checking the remote at some point. They find the spin and I just clear it out. They do not use it, and I do not want. I just want my hosiko trigger and the liberate. I do not want to go down in credits with just basically wasting 2 credits. But with knowledge that there is an Audacity in hand, I think this could be a good score here, but a bit good break here. But I do not end up doing it, and I just end up drawing so I can pitch out these 2 bin breakers. And they end up pushing out the will Wiltruvius with the Audacity here. And Seamless Launch goes back in hand. I get a Maw that I first trash this, and then I go and take out the Seamless Launch. Like, if PD does not have a Seamless Launch, the deck is so much weaker, I think. So my like key plan here is to take out the Seamless Launch and mess with their scoring ability. And bunker goes down just to allow me to get cheaper access at some point. They draw into another agenda, which they push out with 2 eyes, and I end up get the Hoshiko draw down on 4 credits, down on 6 credits I mean, and server 1 is the bunker target, and I end up pinholing it first because I think it could just be a Rashida or something, but ends up being the Wiltruvius that I just, so I click Liberator code once and run there. magnet takes 1 damage. Lucky for me it hits one of the bin breakers. And then it's the border control, which I break. I only break one of the subroutines, I think. Yeah, so I let them have 2 credits here, I think. Because I'm going down so much and they already have like the scoring remote set up, so I think they do not need the money more than I do need the 1 credit. I think this I could probably have broken it, but it doesn't matter too much, I think. Finding the well trophies, which is super nice, and I just click the liberated account once and go on my way. Fairchild, if I wouldn't have given them the money, I think they really don't have any money to get the Fairchild out, but they find the offworld office that they just install behind the Fairchild. Just getting the scoring remote good as possible is decent for them, and I end up just taking out the liberated account and just checking up my econ. They install Spin Doctor, which is good. Just putting things out. Drawing back up again. First run, I run the spin, just forcing it away. Then I run HQ just to check that what they have drawn and try get the bunker, the Mo trigger. I end up seeing the seamless launch, knowing that they can score out, but I do not have enough money to contest the remote, I think. Or right now at least. So I just end up drawing. They install Advance, the off-road office, and get the seamless back in hand. So they're on 4 points, I'm on 2. It's they only need like 1 GFI or something scored, but I think I'm in decent position because I have everything I need basically set up already, and I can like force more triggers to clear out their things, and only thing I really need anymore is the target to get R&D pressure and clear out R&D more favorably. Run R&D, they rest the Hagen. I cleared for 2. I'm making basically a raw run, just trying to find get cards, and luckily I end up finding will trophies. It's basically 1 in 5 or something here, or 1 in 6 or something like that. And I end up moshing all of these away because I do not see any targets for Botulus right now, so I just try to find this target to end the game faster. And draw up, just trying to find something, but nothing hits. They get another Audacity, or they get the Audacity back. They took it back with the Spin Doctor, so. And setting up the tranquility grid here. I am quite I know that I need to check this out because they might have the 2 seamlesses in hand, and this could be like GFI, and I'm not losing the game. I might lose the game because I do not make this run. Just getting the DreamNet, clearing out the liberated account once, and running there. The rest of Fairchild, I think I take the 3. Oh yeah, this is one of the annoying things. I often forget that I have the bunker on something, so I probably should have just taken the 3. Yeah, like my idea was to break the 2 subroutines, trash the daily casts, but ends up just paying 6 to take 2 less net damage, which is not ideal. And I end my run there. Because I was forcing them to rest the fair child, so no real scoring threat anymore. And clear the liberated account away. They find the Lumino that they just installed there. And credit. Maybe they're thinking that I cannot get in there or something. So my first click is just raindrops cut stone here. Basically like clearing the hand out and drawing back up again with more econ. Getting through here. And getting also the Dreamnet and Hosiko triggers is nice here. And going to 6 points is huge. I only need to find one more thing, so. And I end up drawing and clicking for 2 credits just to be able to try to check out the remote at some point again. Like the remote is actually costing me 2 right now. They draw, install the tranquility grid and the Rashid, which is decent enough for them. But I like have the Stargate already, so I just end up putting the Stargate down and running there and finding a GFI, I believe. Yep. So in the end, I think they got a bit unlucky maybe with not drawing like good econ or getting some econ out of the table, but the Hosiko deck also like is really good with dealing, like getting one of the seamless out was really good at the one point, and at this point, like if I don't get the Stargate, I might be in a bit of a trouble, but it's half the deck gone, so half the deck gone found one of the Stargates, so it's decent enough. Yep, so then there's the game 2 of that match. Launch replay. So it's Azmari against Hosiko. I think the matchup is unfavored for me. It's like basically 55-45 or something. It really much depends on which kind of Hosiko deck they're running and how fast can they get their econ stuff, and can like do they not beef into anything. They mulligan away their hand, which is decent enough, and I just have enough agendas and things. Spin Doctor just to find out more options and icing up the remote for the future. And also, I think this twinning like never comes down during the game, even though I do not think they have like enough money at any point to really take advantage of it. They run on the first turn and just get the econ sorted out. Or they get econ to a like decent enough position. And I get a credit. I want to take both of us to really low credit thresholds, so they are forced to play more of their events, and I can better like threaten out the HHN with both of us being on really low credit totals. So they go down to 4 tags and clear out 2 of them, but I was forced to go down to 0 as well, so they're not really threatened by boom right now. And they just pitch out one of the pinhole rings. And I clear out the spin doctor. I'm not sure what I'm drawing into here. I think it would be better just to click for 3 credits right now, because I do not have any like plantograms or anything in my deck. And like I'm forced to pitch out one of the balloons. They click 4 and click 3 credits and take out one of the tags, so they are not they're not in boom range anymore. And I find the gaslight, so I just install gaslight, knowing that they really cannot afford running here because they are so low on credits. And they clear out the last tag and click the rest of the credits down. So this like slowed them down hugely, and now we're on even credit totals again. Not getting the gaslight, I think I'm saving it for the like HHN play again. I overinstall this just to try find something, but no, I'm forced to put out 2 balloons in the arc bin. Not getting back the last spin doctor is rough, but I can manage without 1 spin doctor in the game. Yep, sure gamble. Then the pinholes running, I'm forced to use that, and they just get the gaslight and get the flip as well. And luckily I end up top decking the HHN anyway, so I think I'm just install advance. Oh, I'm doing the install advance play here. Yeah, I think my reasoning here is that they do not have enough money to challenge Enigma, and if they do, and they try actually stealing the Bellona, if they steal the Bellona, I'm just hard thing losing them again. So they just end up drawing and putting down their econ options right now. Also, if they run last turn again, it would keep them back down on hosiko, which is not optimal for them. I score out the Bellona, which is I get the score advantage, and end up drawing another economic warfare, which is huge. I think I shuffled them back with the spin doctor at some point though. They check R&D and do not find anything. I install and take a credit. I cannot take them down with the economic warfare right now, so I just end up letting them take their things. Also, if I get this cord, I can threaten out winning the game much faster. They get the boomerang, which is good for them. They get the early score opportunity, or they can not allow me to score this and take it away. Yeah, and they just clear out one of the fermenters as their last click. Yep, fermenter, and yeah, they remove the tag as well. I find another NGO front that I just install advance, trying to bluff them into running it, or even if trying to get them to run it. And if they do, like even if they run it, I just get the money, so it's like a basic play here. They get down the Dreamnet and Black Orchestra from hand, which is good for me, and I bounce back up in the credit totals. I draw up first on the first click, setting the toll boost up on the second click. That the toll boost like really pressures their econ if they want to keep running it through it repeatedly with the Black Orchestra. Like they have one hippo in the bin, but and then I take a credit there on archives just to get the flip and the DreamNet value. Yep, and then they just DreamNet away their credit or get the liberated account set up and click for credits with that, and they're at 16 and I'm at 12. Luckily I can go and set up if I play this scoring thing here with like toll boost allowing me to act like pressure their econ so much with the res. So like they run here. I think they actually I think are scared that this is just an NGO front. If it was an NGO front, I think they lose the game. If they keep running here, so it's a decent chance to just let the run subroutines fire and start like digging through with Stargate. I luckily have a turnpike there, and they have not found their AMCO ultra yet. And they end up getting Rashida, Bellona, and Seamless launch. So Bellona goes to bin. It means that they only need to find one more agenda with the Stargate right now. And I need to click for credits at this point, which is not ideal. They go and dig with Stargate once again. Do not find anything, I think. Yeah, it's a seamless launch, hedge fund seamless launch. Interestingly, they take out the hedge fund. But yeah, I think if I get the hedge fund here, I'm getting so like my econ goes up so fast, so that it's good for me that they or the if I draw a seamless launch, it allows me to score this out faster, but nothing else really. And I draw the seamless launch, which allows me to score out this and put the Rashido there on the same click. And this, I think, it either forces them to run the server 2 or just like if this is an agenda that they somehow missed, it's game over, but I think they all kinda knew which card I have in hand or which if I have agendas or something. Alright, so they Stargate away and end up seeing seamless launch market forces, like 3 seamless launches in a row is rough. Like even like here they really can't, if it was just as one seamless launch they might trash it just to make it so I cannot win with this play, but market force is also good because it is the other premium tag punishment I have. And they hit another turnpike, which forces them to clear the tags again. They float one tag because they know that the market forces is down, so I'm not really threatening anything right now. And here the gaslight allows me to create the opportunity with hydrogen boom. So yeah, so I install and play the one tempo econ warfare just to make their crit slow. Oh yeah, here I misplaced my eyes, so I wanted to put IP block on the R&D because I know that they are tagged once. So. And now the stream team joins. just as the game is ending. So they go down, float 2 tags from the turnpike run. Miss everything, run through it again, I get the gaslight boom. Yeah, and no, they think they had a better line with going into R&D, and they got through it. They forgot like somewhat trigger. Oh yeah, they forgot boomerang and credit from the DreamNet, which is rough. Yeah, like it was basically like war on econ on both fronts, so I managed to take them down quite well, I think. And next turn I would have played like HH and Boom or something. Good for me that Stargate missed 3 times. 3 times in a row basically, and missed all the agendas, but sometimes it happens. Yeah, like playing the on the Bellona in Archives as the whole game is a bit nerve-wracking. So I'm 4 up in the tournament, and I end up pairing down against the Man in the Moon, which is, I think, like he's in a testing group that I played. I thought I had played against him, but had played against one person against in that testing group that they played this like purple outfit or something like that. So here I'm like Ob is an interesting deck because it basically has 2 things. It's either like asset spam version, which I'm pretty confident against, just basically with my idea. My personal experience against asset spam is pretty like weak. Or it's the rush shaper thing that in like right now would be pretty much scary, but you can see from the length of the game that how the game's probably going to end. On their turn, they just end up installing the 3 things. I just try to get my econ sorted, so I'm fine on that front against. I see the economic warfare, so I basically know the idea that they're on. The Blatterword race here is like interesting. I haven't seen any versions that use the Blatterword on this one. So it ends up like being the Spin Doctor install 2, and I just set up credits and things just to make hosiko flip back down, so I don't get econ warfare or anything. Another ice goes to R&D, and here they install 2 agendas on table, and I end up like running this one, thinking, yeah, okay, and my idea is just to clear out these 2, just to make myself safer, but that's not what ends up happening, because I find this, think, okay, it's interesting that they just put it on the table, clear out the Nasax and clear out the Blatterwort, but it ends up, they end up like using the Formicary, and I think they're on 0 credits. Nothing actually kills me on from their hand, because too few credits and nothing they really have. But and I think like server 1's a trap or Prizek or something like that, because they have done nothing with it. If it was like if it was a Sviatagor, I think they would have raised it beforehand, but it actually is a Sviatagor, and I just read it wrongly. But even if it's a Sviatagor, I think I only die if they have like fast advance pieces, or they have an Asef on the table, which they have. Like these are like only 2 cards that they actually could have on the table that actually kill me from this, and I'm just basically wasting my run here and missing out and getting a extra ping of damage for no reason. So I just eat up the damage and clear out the bladder ward. But ends up being just the right combination of cards that kills me. And I was pretty tilted at this point. And the no, Bridgman is streaming. I would want to play against him, but or Bridgman is playing, but need to do this one first. So the first game ended up pretty badly, and I was going into again into hosiko. Again into hosiko with the Azmari. Last game I got really good draws and really messed with their econ plan, but this game goes a bit differently. I put down same as before. I just put down 2 ice, try to get value, and Rashida goes behind that. They just play econ warfare and they have the pinhole ring in hand, so that punishes that play. And I get down to tomorrow's headline just to try to get one like fast scores that forces them to need to be able to check my remote. They find light the fire, black orchestra, and they just draw up, putting down the telecasts to get credits, and I take out or advance out the tomorrow's headline. Like this situation is pretty it's like even, I think, right now. They end up drawing a hippo, and they find the 15 minutes from archives from R&D. Not too bad for me, like, but this Botulus actually is rough for me because it allows, like, makes my scoring server to be like whack. I do 2 installs just to try to I'm trying to like bluff him out somehow, just to make him think. Like looking back at this place, I'm not sure what this is actually achieving. It's a good play if they misplay like badly into this, and I think like on 12 points both sweep. I think like this is not the right play to be making at this point, because they just end up running this one. I use that away, and they run this one as well, because why not? It like only thing it does, it gives them the hosiko flip. I end up drawing, just trying to find some econ or something, and put Enigma out there, so I'm trying to stay safe from that. They get the liberated account. Flip back, and I just try to bluff out the Botulus tokens. They play these 2 just to make sure that I have it. If it's an cold turnpike, they cannot do anything, but it's not. And drawing out with that, then they just go and take the hosiko flip again with the archives run. I try to bluff them out into running twice in a turn just to make their econ a bit worse, but they just end up running last click and clearing it out. And now I install Turnpike on the remote just to make myself able to like threaten out scores from there. Put down Gaslight. And now they're on HQ. Yep, they break, and luckily they miss out on the Bellona. And now I get my Econ Warfare, so I can Econ Warfare gaslight them. Going down to 5 and trying to get the Rashida. And they just clear out tags. Rashida draws me another Turnpike and I just install advanced credit here because I can seamless launch that out. They take down the fermenter, click for a credit and run there. I think I probably should, this is my problem is in this game. I do not have a credible scoring server at all that actually forces them to use money during my runs. So if I racing this, it sucks pretty badly. But oh yeah, one other thing they did really well is they floated the tag and went down to 0 credits just so my market forces does nothing. This install is a bit weird otherwise, I think. Actually I think my play here is just to install this, then trash that or something. Or install the Rashida, trash that. Because it makes them not be able to afford nice things that much. Yeah, they end up running here. I do not res because I think it hurt me too bad, but it actually is. It siphons them for 6. And then they need to steal, so they would go down to 0 as well if they wanted to steal it. And this ends up I never really have enough money to raise this, so I think raising it would be the correct play. Luckily I found the HHN. This is the amazing draw at this point. Taking us both down, but they just... my idea here is that they are too afraid to run here, but it actually ends up just... It ends up just giving them money. If this was rest or something, and they clear out the tags as well. I'm forced to just click for credit and they take the econ and just clear out tags and I have already used 2 hard signals and 1 econ warfare, so then my econ warfare options are a bit limited right now. Find a ping, it's a decent ice. Put another turnpike, or put a turnpike there, so this costs them bit more to run. And they just end up playing econ and putting down the liberated and flipping back down. I try desperately to get this artificial crypto crash score. They botulus out the enigma. And I get the score on the artificial crypto. But it's really hard this position, I think. They just need to find out one thing with their target and I'm done. They do the first target run, going a bit lower on credits than they probably would want to, but getting the flip as well. The hosiko flip is huge. It allows them to get their credits on the exact moment they basically want them, which is after the run. On the next turn the -1 doesn't really matter. It's just +1 or +2 on the turn it matters, where I need to compete with their credit amount. It's annoying. Playing this just trying to bluff them into running my remote. Hippoing, just doing anything so they can they are low on credits and they end up end up ending the run and just clearing the tag out. I end up just putting a Rashida there, trying to actually find anything. And other thing I really messed up is I never took out the 15 minutes. It's just one click just to shuffle that back in and basically mitigate this thing that ends up happening right here, because they just end up finding the Bellona. Like, if this was other way around, where I just shuffle that back in, I have Rashida on the remote, allowing me to get more econ value. Basically, just try to find hard hitting news or something. So I messed up pretty bad with not getting the 15 minutes out from their score area, I think. Yeah, so ended up getting swept in the third round, which was pretty demotivating, but I think I still have a chance, so I ended up taking a 2-for-1 with Cold Lava, and were playing like actual mirror match, so they were on Azmari and I was on Azmari. Interestingly, we played some testing or some learning games at some point. Yeah, we played like 3 testing games with Hosiko into Azmari, and this I won 1 and lost 2. It like I learned a bit how to play Hosiko. At this point I was testing out my like turbine deck that I played in the last AMT. And I think I got huge value from playing Man in the Moon as on the last round, because they like I noticed some things that they did really well on that game, and I tried to implement them on the game against Cold Lava. Yep. So mulliganing it away because no ice classic. Still no ice. I'm trying to find something, but nothing. Getting the tomorrow's headline out so it doesn't get stolen. I do not want to run here because I just get econed into oblivion. And I set up for the next turn with the Liberated account. Better play could have been just click for credit, install Liberated, click Liberated twice, because it's a much faster game plan, but yeah, I think this is super slow now that I think of it. They get a Bellona on the remote. I'm a bit scared that this is on the artificial crypto crash, so I end up placing a Botulus down and dirty laundering it here. Like, only thing that they actually can score behind are Enigmas and the Enigma and Tollbooth. So I know that Botulus gets through most of the ice in the deck, even on the last click, and it ends up being the Bellona that I can't steal. But it actually, luckily at least, isn't the crypto crash. So they end up and go scoring it. Going to 3 points on turn 3 is decent for them. Also, Bellona is huge that it keeps their econ game up running. I get my Liberated and click it just to get the value out from that. They draw again, put down the Rashida and Rashida. A bit similar to my play where I like hoped they wouldn't run the other thing, but I end up running both Rashidas out, and on a turn that I have run, I'll just end up running again. And I clear out the Spin Doctor as well. Like, this is actually just a misplay, I think. Running R&D, then running server 1, no reason. They draw into a ping, and just put down another Rashida, icing it up, forcing me to run during my like hero form turn. Just getting draw, putting another Botulus here, like finding another Botulus here is huge because it makes them not have they do not have two servers. While I have not like put any bean breakers in the bin yet. And trash that away and clear the tag. They just score out of 15 minutes, so I'm a bit on the clock with just trying to stop them from getting a Bellona, but otherwise I'm solid. Play on Deus Wild just to draw and get the credits. Yeah, my idea on this turn is just to stack my events, so I get to play more of them on a single turn. At least that's what I hope I would do. What's the point in this? There's no point in just giving them 2 points. This is just a clear misplay. I think my idea first was to play all of these all of the events on a single turn, but ends up I just draw things and try to and chuck both of these into the bin. Like, why not play the Sure Gamble? I don't know. They draw, find another Enigma, and these two Botuli force them to put it out on server 5, just to get some scoring presence. Putting down the Maw, just to get more triggers. Destroying one of the HHN from hand, and playing 2 econ cards on a single turn, just to get some value out of them. They find a turnpike that they install on the HQ. Drawing up, then playing 2 econ cards on the same turn as well, again. Just trying. Yeah, on the first run I find Boom that I want to trash, and then I play the second one as I want the Maw trigger as well, and it takes out one of the seamless launches. They get an artificial crypto crash, and I think they imagine that I cannot get into that server right now. But luckily I end up finding the Botulus, the Black Orchestra, the exact draw I needed. And now I get the Stargate as well to end up like giving me the opportunities to Stargate away at some point. They need to purge this turn, so I'm not getting too far away with my econ lead, because actually the deck is not able to score out without without like they have no fast advance pieces or anything like that, so they need to first build a remote and then build a protect HQ and R&D enough. So this Fermentary Fit gives me 10 for 2 clicks, is just huge. And they end up leaving it. I just set up more econ stuff on the table, setting up for the ability to target at some point. They put 3 installs on the table. Yep, so Gaslight on the remote, just to get the Econ Warfare HHN. I end up running that. Then I set up the artificial crypto. I leave the crypto crash borrow. I think I just cannot get through here, and I think if they could like get, if they have drawn both of the seamless launches and this is a Bellone, I think I'm fine with losing to it, because just if this is like some whack card, I just lose if I start going through here, I think. Because they could have like Econ Warfare HHN. So it's basically choosing for what I want to lose to. Luckily it's just an artificial crypto crash. And I draw up just trying to get the econ sorted out. Oh yeah, during this run I also did like run the gaslight, do not do anything just to get the mod trigger. That I thought was a cool play. Putting stuff on the table, I'm not sure why. I guess I just wanted to get some econ or something and set up the fermenter. They ice up this remote even further, but they do not luckily have the credits to actually protect it that well. And bunker allows me to get through Enigma for really well. So Stargate, end up finding Market Force Economic Warfare ping. No, with nothing of this does actually too much for me. Just end up drawing the trashing the Economic Warfare just because it might end up biting me. And run just for the hosiko trigger. They need to draw into something. I get the liberated account down, click it 2 times and then Stargate OM. I put down the Stargate liberated account first and clicked it because I wanted I did not want to lose it to the bunker trash. So bunker hits there. It doesn't really matter to me what it hits, but I get a Bellona. And they do not have a spin doctor. They have used one spin doctor, so it's so there's just tempo econ warfare install ping. And I Stargate, trying to just find something. Hedge one spin doctor, turnpike, spin doctor goes away, because I don't want them to take out the Bellone in the deck. Clear out the tag and take credits from the liberated account. Just trying to keep myself safe from any econ stuff, but they are on 0 credits, so it's tough for them to do actually anything. Draw, take 2 credits. And I again go to the R&D with the spin, or that, and find another spin doctor that I take out. And then I just get the flip and click for 2 credits. They install a gaslight there, and I think my turn here is something like run R&D, get the Stargate, run server 5, but no need because archives ends up. I end up finding the artificial crypto crash that that allows me to win the game. So this I got to make that cut because King actually won against Chaos is me, who was one player ahead of me on strength of schedule. So they lost, so I won with strength of schedule against other players on 18 points. And made the cut on 3rd seed. So the 2nd seed was Man in the Moon on the OP deck. That I actually got to see the OP deck. The lists were revealed, and I think I got some idea my game plan going in was just to run on centrals, because my deck is so huge that I can let them grind me down with blood rewards, but ended up that I ended up in this like really nasty econ fight that I just lost. Yep, Spin Doctor does something. I play my econ cards, not running first click, just to get, just to stay safe from econ warfare, ho and boom. They put down 3 installs, and I just draw up trying to find some econ, but end up finding all of my pin breakers. Over install on that, and installing the form carry on the hostile architecture. Trashing the boom from HQ that I find. Yep, so they install Drudgework and install Sviatagora. I just end up drawing, setting up econ, setting up Dreamnet because of I want to keep the routine of flipping over the hosiko every other turn. Drudgework ends up giving them 4 credits with 2 clicks, so they get the super Drudgework value from that, and rise up server 3 again. Yep, and I clear out server 3 with the hostile architecture in it there. I think I actually like, they do not have any, yeah, I think, I'm not sure. Like, my game plan falls apart during like the game. I do not have enough experience against this asset spam decks. But I end up running the server 3 just to clear out the hostile architecture that does some ping damage, and they just put the urban renewal in the server. I think here I just put down the Maw just to get some casual Maw triggers. Putting down the Maw and not actually doing anything in scenes, like, I think pretty bad, not combining it with running. They get the Mold Wall to draw them more cards, and they get the Spin Doctor. Spin Doctor from wall to wall with the Sviatagora. And they end up drawing. Yeah, like this, I actually think the deck loses on the HQ accesses and R&D access at some point because of the city works. It cannot be protected, and I'm really good at stealing SDS drone deployment, so I think I made like 1 HQ or R&D run during the game. I haven't yet gotten time to look at the King's game against this deck. That King apparently won on a similar deck, so I need to do that at some point. Yep, run both of these just to get the trigger. They end up, and they do yeah, they Econ Warfare HHN me. Econ Warfare HHN, yeah. So now I'm basically like stuck between a rock and a hard place with the urban renewal ticking down with killing me. And I'm kind of forced to just make them have the boom. And here I think I'm not sure why I do. So the first click is to play pinhole thudding. Second click is just a dirty laundry run on server 5 to get credits. And clear tag here. Oh yeah, next turn is the one turn I don't like. They get another Spin Doctor. And they ice up archives and set up a Nasax to keep themselves feeling bladderwort. I end up just bouncing off Formicar with the Geekon cards. Yeah, because the hosiko actually gives me the hosiko trigger that makes me go down on credit that I forgot totally about it. Yep, so Formicary I bounce off Formicary and clear off one tag. Get back on hosiko. They take out the Nasax just to make another urban renewal and put down the hostile architecture behind the other Formicary. Bravadoing again on the Formicary, just bouncing away, getting the AMCO Ultra back with Paladin Poem. Running that just because of the Maw trigger. Trashing an SDS. Yeah, and I clear off what the last tag. I think I really like clearing the tag is, no, yeah, it's decent. Yep, they get another there, and they end up putting the city wars there, just add install advance. There's nothing that I really can do about that. I'm just getting forked so hard between all of the assets. I take up get a Liberator and click it up. And pinhole threading. Yeah, and this was a horrible play on my part basically. I end up tanking the hostile architecture there and running like, yeah, this I just lost the game because I tanked the hostile architecture trash there, and then I end up drawing, and then last click I'll run server 9. I could like just draw up at this point and I think I would be safe, but no, just had to kill myself. Yeah, fuck. I actually think I had this. I had a chance in this game instead if I did not mess that up. They had used most of their some of the resources already. Like they do not have indefinite things to get back on in the deck, so. Yeah, I think I probably could have just like drawn up and eaten that. Like eat the urban renewal and then hope that they cannot have like this is not an ASF protocol or something. Yeah, and the urban kills me. Well, rough, tough. What can you do? But yeah, I still got the 3rd place and I was happy with my performance in the 2 games that I won. I think I misplayed pretty. The last game was tough and the first game against Man in the Moon was tough, but it is what it is. I'm going to get stronger and maybe go for the 3-peat AMT top cut finish, but maybe win next time would be nice.